In today's video, we're going to be learning how to cut and sew this beautiful shift gown in a very simple method. So if this is what you're interested to learn how to do, please stay tuned and watch till the end. This video is a very detailed one. Thank you. Now to do this, I have in fact I have less than 3 yards of material. I have 2 yards plus, okay, for this particular gown. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that because I have demarcation, if you check the beginning of this video, you can see that there is a demarcation in front of this gown. I'm going to be folding into 2, then fold into another 2. Okay, just watch the way I'm going to fold it. Please don't forget that. Just follow me, you will not even get missed. This dress is a very simple dress. Okay, so I folded into 2 first. Now folding into another 2 like this. Okay, so you can see that there is a demarcation at one side. There is an opening at one side, so that side will serve as our front piece. Okay, you can see it. Okay, so this is it. I'm going to be measuring from this end, okay, to check how much space I'm going to be having, how much allowance I'm going, or how free the gown is going to be. Okay, so I went ahead and marked 3 inches at this top end. This is for my neck width, and then I'll come down with 1.5 inches. You can even use 1 inch, it depends on what you want. This area is for the collar. Okay, don't forget at the beginning of this video there was a collar stand that had a red finishing, so you can just use 1.5 inches or 1 inch for this particular area. This is for your neck area, this is for the back neck area. For the front neck area, I used about 6 inches. You can actually vary. You mustn't use 6, you mustn't use 5. You can do as much as what you want, or less than that. You can even use as less as 4 or 5, depending on what you prefer. Okay, so I just marked out and I formed it like a straight V. Okay, so I will now go ahead, because there is no shoulder, I will now go ahead and reach that point where I will have normally I would have marked my shoulder. That's at 7.5. Then I will still mark from there to check till the end. Let me show you at the point where I marked up to 9.5 after, okay, after my normal shoulder measurement. Okay, so because I'm not going to be demarcating it, I have this. Okay, now after doing that, there isn't so much measurement on this dress. Okay, this gown is so simple. I will now come down by this end 1.5 inches. You can see that I went to the end of this dress to mark this. So at that 1.5, I'll be connecting it to the top end of this shoulder of my neck area. Okay, at that point where I marked my 3 inches for my neck area, I connected that 1.5 to it. Now this is for the roundness of my sleeve, how wide I want it to be. Now you can use as much as 10. I just went ahead and marked 10. Okay, this 10 will be very big. Oh, you can see the circumference of my hand. I want it to be free. Okay, now you can even use 11. It depends on what you want. Now from this point where I marked my 7.5, that's for my shoulder, I came down to mark 24 inches. This is for my hip measurements. Okay, from that top end to 24 inches. Okay, and then I'll mark it out. I just want to check how much space I will have, how much freedom I will have for this gown. Okay, after marking my normal measurement, I just want it to be about so my hip, which is 10, plus sewing allowance 12 inches plus about 3 inches. Okay, that's how much freedom I'm taking. That's about 12 plus 3, 15 inches. So that's what I marked. Now you can see that I continued with that measurement to my top area, and then I curved it out. Okay, I'm not really making use of any shapy measurement here. I just use that 15 inches and marked from the waist to the bust or to the chest area, everything just straight and all the way down, and I'm cutting it out. You can see that the cutting of this gown is so simple. Okay, now please watch the way I'm cutting this out. Okay, I'll cut open this area just this way. Okay, after cutting it open, I just want to trim out the excesses at this front area. Okay, I will now go ahead and cut the shoulder slant all the way to the neck area, and then cut the back neck. Please, when you're cutting this, be careful. Cut the back neck. The back is the one without an opening. You can cut the two of them together, but raise the back up so you can cut the front. I hope this is quite clear. Okay, so that is it. Now this is the back of this gown. Okay, I'm going to be placing the front this way. Okay, and I'll place the other side. You know, it has two openings. Okay, you're not going to close this open. I will tell you at what point you will close it. Okay, so you just place this right perfectly like this. Okay, neckline to neckline, and then sew up the shoulder. Okay, you're going to sew it up from this end with about 1/2 inch down. Okay, and then you do the same thing for this other side. Okay, now after doing this, you're going to cut out something that, or you can even use the same fabric, it depends on your style. Okay, me, I just decided to use this red material. Before I cut it out, you have to measure the whole circumference. Okay, you can see the finishing of this particular one I'm wearing. Okay, you can have something like this. Okay, that's what we want to replicate. So I will start from the end of this particular gown. You can see that I'm starting from the bottom and then stitch this round. But before you do that, you have to measure the whole circumference. Okay, and then use the whole circumference to cut out that red fabric, that part that has red. Okay, so ensure that you measure it out. If not, it will be shorter than or longer than necessary. It's even better that it's longer, but when you have the exact measurement, you cut with your measurement. So this is it. I have already stitched it together with my fabric. Okay, and this is how it looks. Now I also folded the finishing, the sleeve area. I finished the sleeve area. I stitched it up. Okay, I closed it perfectly. You can actually also use something red here if this is the pattern exactly you're working with, or you can continue with the fabric. Now at this point, I'm going to stitch from my armhole area. I'm going to join it all the way down. I will join this end and then I will join the other end as well. The same thing I do for this side. From here, I will just join it down, and I will still do the same thing for the other side as well. And after doing this, I will notch these areas, okay, so that the gown or the armhole area will be free. Okay, you can actually also use your iron to iron this out. Okay, you mustn't actually notch this thing like this, so that you know when the person wants to shape it more, or really have an ease on the gown, the notching will not affect it. Okay, now after doing this, I'm going to be measuring from my shoulder 17 inches. This is my half length. Okay, so measurements, I'm marking 16 inches. Okay, so this casing will have 1 inch from 16 inches to 17 inches. You can see where I started to measure out this. I started from the shoulder area. Okay, and then from this red fabric, I'll come in by 1 inch. Okay, you can even use 2 inches, but I came in by 1 inch. And then you can see I'm marking it carefully on both sides. I'll mark from this end 16 inches, and I'll continue use the same measurement and mark from this end 16 inches, and then I'll mark under 17 inches. This will serve as the casing, okay, for the rope, for the string that is going to be inside. Okay, this will be the casing, the rope that will be passing through this gown. Okay, now after I marked it to have an exact measurement, so that the gown, the one side will not be up, the other side will be down, please take your measurement round. If you're marking 16 inches, mark it round. Now look at my casing. I have about 2 inches for this particular casing. Okay, so I'll be folding in. I will measure round the circumference to cut out this particular fabric. Okay, ensure that you measure round. So when I measured round, I had about 16 inches plus. Okay, this is for the whole circumference of the casing. Now for the rope, when I'm folding it, I have about 2 inches, so that when I'll use half inch on both sides, and I have 1 inch. Okay, look at how I'm folding it, half inch, and I'll place it from that place where I marked my 1 inch. Okay, please let me do this again. I'll fold it in this way, and then I'll make sure that there is space in between. I'll place it like this, and then I'll stitch on top and below. On top of that 16 inches I'll stitch, and then below on the 17 inches I'll stitch. There will be space in between that 16 and 17 inches so that my rope can pass through. I hope this is clear. Now I'm going to quickly measure out my whole, draw out these 16 inches round the whole dress, and you can see, you're going to see the way I'm going to do it, so that you will know that it's not hard. So you will not say, oh, it's going to take time. No, please take your time and do this, so that the casing comes out very nice and neat and equal. Okay, one side will not be longer or higher than the other. Now I'll place this like this, half inch. Please ensure that you place it rightly, and then stitch it up. I'll quickly pin it, and this will serve as a guide. These 16 inches I marked in the front, I'll flip this material to the back, and I'll still mark it. Okay, I hope this is clear. When you do this, ensure that you mark it and let the lines connect to each other, the front line and the back line. Let them all connect to each other. I think this is the only hardest part of this dress, and you can see that it's not hard. Therefore, this dress cannot be considered a hard dress. Okay, but if you have questions, please kindly leave it in the comment section. Be sure that I'll be answering them all, okay, as my strength leads me. So I just connected them all. You can see that they have even both met. The lines on the sides have met. Okay, now we're going to be running that particular casing over the sides. Okay, now I will now use the rope and put it in, but let me case it first so that I will pass this rope before you. Okay, so you can see that once you put the casing rightly, putting the rope is the easiest thing, okay, in this dress. Now don't forget that we did not close up this front end. Okay, the front ends are still open. Now I have run my thread across the dress, and you can see that the casing is perfectly done. I'm now going to place in my rope in through this casing that I have already made. Okay, and this is the pocket. I use the short. You can actually adjust this to even make your pocket longer if you want a longer pocket. I just used about 6 inches for the height, and then 6 inches or thereabouts. I think 6 or 7 inches for the sides as well. Okay, so you can make do with whatever works for you, whatever you want. Now I place this pocket 2 inches below this casing. You can see the way I'm placing. I'm trying to do it accurately. Ensure that you do them, the two pockets, to align with each other, so that one pocket will not be higher than the other. Okay, so I placed 2 inches from this my red rope. Okay, and then 2 inches from the casing, 2 inches from the sides, and 2 inches from the top. Okay, you can see the way I placed it. Now I will run my stitches on it. I will just pin it carefully before passing my rope, or you can even place the pocket before passing your rope, because if you do anything after you have joined it, it will not be smooth. So it's better that you do it. Might be smooth anyway, but it will be tougher. So why not go for the easier way? Okay, so I will just quickly pin this up this way. I want to do this before. You can see the way bent it, I folded in the lower end, and I'll do that for all the sides and for each of the pockets. Okay, and then I will now pass my rope. I want to pass this rope before you. I'll put one end of this rope through my safety pin, okay, and then push in the rope through the casing. As simple as that. Okay, so this is something that you can actually do easily. Getting to the finishing part of this video. Okay, you can see that we have done this now. The ropes are perfectly inserted, okay, and the pockets are nicely placed. Now I will now place this, and I turned it to the back. I flipped the dress to the back. You can see the way it is. I will now measure out where I want my neckline to start from. Okay, if I marked it to start from 5 inches or 6 inches, I will now from that end start that. I'll place it together and then run a stitch all the way down. Okay, and don't forget, at the beginning of this video there was a slit in the front. You can make the slit to be 7 inches or 8 inches, as high as you want it or as low as you want it. You can even make it 3 inches, or you can decide not to have any slit at all in the front. Okay, so you can vary with the style you want. Okay, so for me, I just worked with 7 inches. Okay, so you can do it whatever you want. And you can see that this gown is so simple, and you can see how quickly we made it. Now don't forget that when you are done with the slits, you're going to finish up, that's hemming the end of this gown. Okay, you're going to quickly hem it, okay, after you have stitched up the front part. Okay, you just hem it with either 1 or 2 folds, okay, very neatly, and your gown is so ready. So this is how the gown looks after I had already finished. So leave me your comments in the comment sections and tell me what you think about this gown. Is it as easy as I made it seem, or is it a bit hard? And tell me if you'll be trying this out. This is so simple to make. Okay, so you can either wear this gown, okay, by pulling the drawstring, so you can decide to wear it as a very simple free gown. Okay, and this is so simple to make. Thank you so much for watching this video up to this end. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so every time I upload a video you'll be notified. Thank you.